Everyone wants a different Ranger team. Hey, are we rolling?
Yeah, we are. Hey, hello.
You sure?
We're here.
Yeah, positive. We're here.
Hi, everybody.
All right. So welcome. I'm Scott Gata, president and publisher at Renegade Game Studios, and we are here to talk about Power Rangers. And joining me today is Jonathan Ying, designer of Heroes of the Grid. Say hello, Jonathan.
Hi, everybody.
There you go. And also we have Jeannie Torres, senior graphic designer and creative lead for Power Rangers and many other things. Introduce yourself, Jeannie. Say hello to the folks at home.
Hi, guys. How are you doing? How's everyone doing? Obviously, they can't answer, so I'm just going to assume they're fine, right?
They are. There are lots of them in chat, and they are answering you right now. So we are going to give you a very, very brief recap and a little bit of information on some things that have been announced and coming up. We want to show you some things. And then we're going to dig into some things that maybe have not been announced. And a little bit of spoilers, a little bit of previews. The good news is Sarah Erickson, our vice president of sales and marketing, the enemy of fun, is not here. She's not at Renegade Con this weekend. She is busy. She's driving to Canada as we speak to pick up a puppy. And you know what that means? Nobody can stop us. So let's dig into it, but don't tell Sarah. All right. So Jonathan, Forever Rangers, that's coming up, and that's coming out in April. What can you tell everybody about
it?
Yeah, so it's on the way. What can you tell us about Forever Rangers for some people that may not be up to speed?
So Forever Rangers is a pack that sort of adds full new Ranger decks for all of the replacement Rangers, which were the ones who sort of came in the second season of Mighty Morphin series. Their character cards were originally included as expansion characters in the Kickstarter box. And that sort of gave us like alternate character abilities for Rocky DeSantos, Adam Park, Aisha, and they sort of, and Kat Hillard, and they were there to give a little bit of flavor for the classic Mighty Morphin character decks. Now, a lot of players love to do special sessions where they do like best of teams or, want to play with all their favorites. And they ended up playing had such a different flavor, even just using the different character card. Players often asked if we could do the Mighty Morphin characters as their own packet, right? Because otherwise you would need 2 copies of the core set to have that number of Mighty Morphin Red Rangers. We got a lot of requests for that and ended up, and so it was like we could have just released a figure pack, but I was like, wait, no, we can use this opportunity to create new kits for the Mighty Morphin Rangers using the mechanical themes by their new character cards, right? And so we've got sort of a new Rocky DeSantos using his Kickstarter box ability, but with an entirely new Mighty Morphin deck where, Rocky, not being the leader, doesn't have lead the charge. He doesn't have a lot of the more normal leadership abilities that Jason Lee Scott has. Instead, Rocky is sort of more of a bruiser, more of a tank. He sort of plays much more defensively than Jason does. And hits like a truck, and he's one of the most fun characters to play. There's also a slight reference to his very brief gambling addiction of the infamous Pachinko episode in that set. And yeah, so all of the other Rangers get new special abilities. Several of them get kind of a nice lead-in. I know Kat's ability set actually references her Zeo powers a bit in the way that she plays. It's sort of like you could see that the transition from her going from Mighty Morphin Pink to Zeo Pink. And yeah, like I really enjoy I really like the new set for the Forever Rangers. And of course, my boy Adam Park got a whole new deck. And once again, it is like one of my favorite things to play because I have no bias whatsoever. What are you talking about?
Of course not. That would never factor into any of our decisions. And then art wise for the Forever Rangers, was there anything new in there? Anything that you sent Jeannie on a mission for?
I mean, one of the fun things about the Forever Ranger set is that we got to include a lot of the new comic art as the comics were going on, and like we got to feature some of the cool stuff done at Boom. But we also got to include all new art for the Thunder Zords, right? Which are some of my favorite Zords in the game, favorite Zords in the series. And so, Jeannie, do you remember which artist we got to do the Thunder Zord art?
Yeah, we got Valeria Vavocha. I have to make sure to say it right because it's Italian. It's really
Yeah.
cool to say. Valeria Vavocha.
Yeah.
And she did a really good job. Really good job on
Yeah.
those
Oh
Zords.
man, Thunder Zords came out awesome, and I'm constantly glad that we made the decision to make the Zord cards huge because the art that fills them is just so cool.
Yep. Nice. All right. So Forever Rangers, that's on the way, releasing in April. One of the other April releases is Squat and Babu. So we have that coming up.
Oh man, Squat and Babu.
And I think we've shown off a lot of Squat and Babu.
Yeah.
So that's, I think that's well known. And then Villain Pack number 3, Legacy of Evil. That's also coming. What are some of the highlights in Legacy of Evil Villain Pack 3?
Ooh, so Legacy of Evil has some fan favorite villains, as well as some ones that players weren't exactly expecting. I was really excited to include Thrax, who is in one of my favorite team up episodes in Operation Overdrive. Once again, referencing like kind of Forever Rangers, like it's the Legacy team led by Adam Park, my boy. I will say one of the Thrax cards definitely features Adam Park getting like punched very, very hard. And yeah, it's a good piece. But yeah, Thrax is interesting because he is the child of Rita Repulsa and Lord Zed. And
yeah, that's okay. Don't hold that against him.
He is certainly incredibly evil and one of the toughest bosses in the game now. But another one that a lot of fans weren't expecting us to do because we hadn't done haven't done anything as much with the Turbo team, but we've got Divatox, who has always had a place in my heart as a villain. Like I love like how extra Divatox constantly is. And she's got some of the most fun card names, I will say. Like one of her cards is Viva la Diva, which is as is tradition for boss passives, one of the meanest passives I think we've yet given a boss.
Nice. So Chris, our producer on the show, mentioned in the chat, he says, when super fan and designer collide, this is what you get. So Jeannie, I have a question for you. You acquire all the art and you art direct the art, but Jonathan gets involved. How is it working with super fan Jonathan Ying when you're art directing some of the new art that we're commissioning for the set?
Well, yeah, I will say Jonathan does. he is very involved, and that's fine because he literally is our walking like style guide, right, for Power Rangers. So, if we have something that's just not quite right or not in place, he's gonna let me know, and that's fine. I'm totally fine with that because we obviously want it to be right and perfect. So.
That is very charitable of you.
Right. We work very closely. Lots of messaging between us to make sure that, it obviously it has to be right. And I rely on him a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah. I don't fight too much. Other than deadlines, I don't fight.
Yeah. Like I mean if you had if everything went perfectly normally, right? Like, or no, if I had my way entirely, I would be constantly tweaking and asking them to add very like tiny things to like the background of these cards forever. But you have definitely allowed me to be at least a little bit indulgent with how we've done some of these art requests, and it's also been really cool being able to interface with the artists as we make requests for particular cards. As the series goes on, we're relying less on like sort of Boom Studio card pulls and getting a lot of really awesome, unique art that I get to kind of do really cool stuff with. I think one of my favorite elements, minor. I mean, we've talked about how Dino Thunder is coming, right? I say
We're
a
a little bit. We're not quite into that part of the show yet, but yes, we've mentioned
that,
it's in the yeah.
But like for example, with like the Dino Thunder situation, they've got civilian powers that they don't really use in their Ranger suits because it's from Sentai footage, and the civilian powers tend to be from the Western stories. By giving us the creative freedom of doing this sort of art stuff, we can have them utilize their special civilian powers while in Ranger form, which is something that you don't really get to see in the show as much, and something that they can do. They just kind of didn't as much.
Right.
And yeah, that's been a very nice piece of fan indulgence for me as we design this.
And so I will. Oh, go ahead, Jeannie.
Oh, I was going to say, yeah, as we are going through, we've used a lot of Boon comic stuff, but, as we keep going, it's really nice to have more and more commissioned art for all of our SKUs. And we're collecting, or we're getting more artists on board. So I'm really excited. Of course, I can see down the line and no one else knows what we have, coming, but I will say that we have a lot of great art coming down the pipeline, and and I think you guys are going to be super excited to see what
y'all gonna flip when you see some of these pieces. Oh man,
yeah. So this is a really good thing, I will say. So Jonathan helps make sure that every little detail gets addressed, but Jeannie makes sure that it actually comes out and gets finished, so you actually can get your game. Because if we left it up to Jonathan, you may never get your game. So it's like a peanut butter and chocolate relationship. It's the best of both worlds.
I am many things as a designer, but punctuality is not my strongest suit, I'll say.
It's okay, Jonathan. It's all right. So that's the villain pack, and then next up we have painted Megazord. We've shown that off. There's pictures up on our website, and there was during the campaign. So it's the original Megazord, but fully painted for those people that may want a pre-painted Megazord to show off or have in their games. And then we have the Power Rangers deck building game. So that is also hitting around April. If you haven't played that, I believe you can play it this weekend. I think that's correct, that you can play it up on Tabletopia. If not, be sure to check it out. We have some videos and stuff up on our website. I will say this deck building game is really cool. It's a different way to play than what you're used to in Heroes of the Grid. You can play as both good guys and bad guys. So it's semi-cooperative. You team up with another player. You can play one-on-one, 2v1, 2v2, but you can play villains, which is super cool. It's something that we wanted to do. We didn't want to have just the same experience, type of play experience and cooperative experience that you had in Heroes of the Grid. So in the deck building game, you get to play from a kind of a different perspective and different angles. So it's really neat. Check that out if you have not already. I'm a big fan of deck building games, so I'm kind of excited about that one. That's kind of my background as a card game player back in the day. So, all right, let's talk about some new stuff. New.
Ooh,
we have the new stuff in April, but then we have the then we have the new. Right, new and then new. So we did mention Dino Thunder. So let's start with Dino Thunder. So we've mentioned it briefly that it's coming out. And we're going to open up pre-orders for this around April or so. So after the next wave ships, we'll open up pre-orders for the next wave. Jonathan, I'm going to let you give us one bit of insight into Dino Thunder. A little bit of insight, like about the gameplay. Something that's really cool. Something that makes them stand out and different.
So I think one thing that I always try and do when doing these teams is to build them around a general theme. And so fans will have probably gotten a hint as to the Dino Thunder's theming based on Dino Thunder Black, who we've already seen in the Tommy Oliver pack, right? And we felt like it probably wouldn't be necessary to include another copy of that character since you could just get him in the Tommy Oliver pack, meaning that we kind of freed up an open slot in this pack for another character that I'm very excited to get to include. And it's going to be it's very cool. And suffice to say, every single member of the Dino Thunder team benefits from having Tommy Oliver as their mentor. So playing, them together will obviously provide the ideal synergies. They're designed really well to work together, though they also work well with other Rangers. They just kind of have very clear and obvious synergies within the Dino Thunder team. What that gimmick is, I will leave for a later. I'll leave for a later thing. Although you'll probably get a hint at it in whatever previews we show imminently.
All right. Well, you know what? That was pretty good. So again, Sarah's not here. So let's show everybody the Dino Thunder box art. I think we have that, don't we? Yeah, let's show that to everybody.
Yeah, I think the art for this one's killer.
You're gonna make me look because I don't know. Did you give me that one, Jeannie?
I don't think I gave you that one, but I know where it is.
Oh,
it's on the list.
All right.
Oh, I thought.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
all right.
I'll get
this a minute.
I thought you grabbed it, but
I will put that up momentarily then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me.
Well, I'll tell you what then. Yeah. No problem. So I think we have some cards. I think we have some cards that we were going to talk about, right? So do we have?
So let's throw those up, and we can hold off on the box for a minute.
Yeah. Yeah. So how about Thunder Max Saber? Can we take a look at that one?
Yeah, let's bring it up. And so, well, no, that is not Thunderback Saber. Ooh, that's a spoiler for the spoilers that are coming.
That's
Y'all are killing me on this one.
I mean, it should be a card that says Thunderback Saber on the actual card.
Do you not have that one either? Mine's trouble.
Was that purple for a reason?
I mean, what do you mean? Well, there's no such thing as a purple Power Ranger. What are you talking about?
Oh.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's the only one I have for
purple.
That's the only thing you have?
That's for Thundermax. That's what I got.
What? No. What?
I
Hang
will.
on.
I can get them.
I
will get them.
Let me work that out.
What else do you have back there?
Yeah.
For Dino
Let's
Thunder.
just throw up whatever previews we got, and we'll talk about what we've got. Because
yeah.
Well, are you ready for? Let's see. We have the Patera Scream. I do have that.
Yeah,
Ooh,
let's check that one out. Yeah, Patera Scream was next on my list. Oh, we're gonna have to do a video about how Chris pronounces that. It's only fair.
So, yep, this is an example of using a civilian power while in their suits. We got this kind of canary cry that happens in the series. So this is Kira Ford, many people's favorite Dino Thunder Ranger. So this has kind of a unique effect, which it actually reduces the health value of enemy cards. You play this when it's a reaction that is played when a Ranger performs an attack. Before resolving that attack, so before dice are rolled, before anything else happens, you reduce the health value of the target by 2 until the end of the turn. So you can actually use this to just outright defeat an enemy card that only has 2 health, although that kind of wastes the attack that you were in the middle of performing. That basically just skips the attack. But otherwise, it kind of softens up an enemy for the hit. If you don't end up defeating that enemy, though, with that swing, they'll recover from being disoriented by the scream. But it's a really fun softener ability that helps finish off enemies real good. It is sort of leaning into a bit of a push your luck style of thing, where I like it when the game kind of leads to exciting dice roll moments. So when you use Terra Scream, like, it's very rarely a guaranteed kill, but it sort of sets you up for that jackpot, for that nice finish, particularly against some of the beefier enemy cards.
Nice. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
See,
I have another
what else
card
we
on
got?
my list. Hopefully it's on the backside
other
list too. On the other list. I'm jumping around here. So let's see. What else? What's our next card for Dino Thunder?
Do we have Dash and Slash?
I do.
Okay. So, hey, Dino Thunder White. Y'all like Trent? So this is one of Trent's combat cards. It is a flat single damage attack. But before rolling, he can choose to place one card from his hand on the bottom of his deck. And if he does, he adds 2 dice to the attack. So it is either an incredibly safe kind of single target finisher. If they only have 1 health left, just play Dash and Slash, it's out. But you can commit a little heavier and actually sort of reduce your hand size, so reduce your options for the battle, and kind of do a really beefy attack for 0 energy. It's definitely a really useful card, and I love this artwork. This move is also a reference to a series that I quite like in video games, but we don't have to worry about that as much. Whoever can figure it out, I'll give you a thumbs up on Facebook.
Oh, wow. Thumbs up. All right. Nice.
Wow, that's
But yeah, this is
stretch
one
the
of the
bank
fun
there.
card arts.
All right, so the last card on my list, let's see if we have it, is Zord Control from Dino Thunder.
Ooh. Mm-hmm.
We do have that one.
So now we
All
all know
right.
Trent. He's not always a good guy. He in fact, like some other 6th Rangers in the past, started off as a bad guy, and one of his most iconic abilities is the ability to dominate Zords. So this card deals 3 damage, and for every Zord card in play, he does it again. So if you fight him, he's an interesting boss monster because he scales. The first time if you fight him as your first monster, this ability isn't too bad, right? You have maybe 2 Zords tops, right? And so it's like, okay, yeah. But if you're fighting him when you have 4 Zords, this card hits like a huge truck. He's terrifying. Thankfully, it has guard, so you can. So while it protects cards next to it, you can pretty much always target it as your primary target. And this is one of his scariest moves. And I just love him just commanding these giant robot dinosaurs to beat the crap out of you. Oh man!
All right,
Love this
nice. So that's a little taste of what's going to be in Dino Thunder. When we open up pre-orders for that, we'll have a lot more to show you and dig deep into it. Oh, there we go. Dino Thunder pack.
Hey,
there's the box. All right.
Yep.
So gather what clues you can from that art. Who did the art for this one, Jeannie?
Valeria.
Yeah, this is Valeria.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
did such a good job.
Just punches. I
She's
love how
awesome.
it just punches. So much energy in that.
Yep. All right. So there you go, Dino Thunder. So a little taste, like I said. We'll have a lot more information on Dino Thunder in April. So keep an eye out for that. Now, one of the other new SKUs coming out, we're not going to tell you the name of what the subtitle of what it is, but it's called Allies Pack 2. So make of that what you will. But I do think we have one thing to spoil and show you from Ally Pack 2.
Just the one?
What have we got, Chris?
Let's see. Let's see.
Well, at least one.
Let's see. At least one, yeah. So this is a pack I think was never fully announced. This is our first proper announcement that we are doing an Allies Pack 2. The Allies Pack 1 was very well received, and it was certainly one of the more eclectic squads.
Yep. So what have you got for us back there, Chris, for Allies Pack 2?
I don't know if they're if we've got specific settings for them.
Right. I got yelled at last time I put something up that I wasn't 100% sure about, so I didn't want to, spoil it.
So do you have the Silver Space Ranger character card?
Oh, that? Let's see. I do. That guy right
let's
there?
take a look. That guy right there.
Second. Hey, look, it's Zane.
There you go.
I'm back. Hey, so a lot of people were wondering where this guy was. And hey, he's right here. So notably, actually, should I start talking about this? What did I miss?
Did you lock up there for a second? Yeah, tell us about this card. Yep.
Yeah. This is Zane, the Silver Space Ranger. He is actually fulfilling a niche that was kind of conspicuously absent among the Space Rangers, in that they did not have an energy battery character within their squad in the Rise of the Psycho Rangers pack. And Zane fills that niche quite excellently. His ability is kind of nice and simple. It's once per battle, when you gain any amount of energy, increase that amount by 1. So if he were to gain 2 energy, it becomes 3. If he gains 1 energy, it becomes 2. It is very nice, just kind of slowly helps ramp up the energy progression. And several of his cards make good use of that amount of energy. So Zane is definitely one of the more fun Rangers to play. And you can kind of see a slight teaser as one of his card arts is actually, it's one of my favorite little touches, is that the banners on all the character names have a bit of art for that Ranger.
Yeah.
So yeah, do we have any
Very
of Zane's
cool.
combat cards to show off, or?
I believe we have Silverizer Blast. Is that one in the queue?
Yep.
Yeah,
There we
Silverizer Blast. So notably, Zane does not have an Astro Blaster like most 6th Rangers. He sort of does not use the standard sidearm of his team. So this is X energy. Play this card when any Ranger gains energy. Deal an amount of damage equal to an enemy card of your choice equal to the amount of energy spent to play this card. So effectively, this is a reaction speed Blade Blaster that can target a single enemy. So you can immediately vent any energy, like a bunch of energy gains, to just snipe out an enemy card. Kind of a quick draw thing. Zane is pretty fun.
Nice.
On that front. And
all right.
And I will
see,
say,
I think we may have one more.
Sorry, I was
Go
going
ahead,
to say
Jeannie.
for silver, there might be a little nice shine to these card frames. Maybe a little metallic going on.
I'm excited about
Really?
that. A little bit of
Maybe.
Maybe. There
zhuzh.
might be some shine.
Yeah. That might, yeah.
And then Silverizer Slash, brandishing the Super Silverizer in Blade mode. So the other one thing that I've always liked about the Super Silverizer is that it's basically just a giant blade blaster. Like, it's a sword and it's a gun. And so I sort of divided up the function of a blade blaster among these two cards. So with this, it's a 2-die attack with an energy cost of X. And instead of using X to ramp the amount of damage the card deals, X ramps the number of targets it can hit. So instead of choosing a target, you deal its full damage to a number of enemy cards equal to the amount of energy spent to play this card, topping out at 4, basically one full row of enemy cards. And it benefits hugely from dice boosters and damage boosters like Hyperforce Red's Find Weakness or Dino Thunder Black's bonus die. Like, that just applies to every enemy card that is targeted by this, which is super fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. What's next on the list? I know we've got more stuff back there, Chris. I'm not gonna name things for this set until they show up at this point. There we go. Thunderback Saber.
We did get
there's the Thunderback Saber.
Yep.
All right. There we go.
Swing it back around to Dino Thunder. So yeah, the Dino Thunder sidearm, we went with the Thunderback Saber. This one's a little funny, but it's if any other effects add dice to this attack, you add +1 die to it. And then you may divide the damage from this attack among any number of targets. So at base, it's a 1 energy, 2-die attack that you can split up among any number of targets. Perfectly solid. But if you have any effect that adds dice, its baseline goes up to being a 3-die attack among any number of targets with whatever other bonuses you stack onto it, which is it's pretty excellent. And every Dino Thunder Ranger has one of these, except Trent, who has a different bonus card as his sidearm, since he doesn't really indulge in the Thundermax Sabers as much.
Cool.
But yeah, and I also love the art featuring all 3 of the Dino Thunder Rangers, which we get to do when doing some of these sidearm cards. all three of the core.
So, and Jean, nice. And then Jeannie, that was also Valeria. Did she do all the art for that set?
She did.
I think this
Yeah.
one was just Valeria got to sort of go hog wild, which was super fun.
Okay. Nice. Okay. So one of my favorite things is always to ask, I'll go to Jeannie and I'll say, hey, this artist that's working on new stuff, do they work traditionally or digitally? Because I like to buy the originals when occasionally and start putting stuff up. At some point, we'll have to break those out and maybe show to people because I have a bunch of originals. All right.
So we've got certain other cards that I've actually, I want to emphasize, we are avoiding sharing the specific name of the ranger who these cards are associated with. And so I'm telling you that as the enemy of fun today. I am the substitute enemy of fun because I enjoy the fun of speculation.
Ooh.
And I think people should speculate on which rangers these cards are associated with.
All right.
As they come
All right, Jonathan.
So,
I'm really sad that you're Jonathan's the new Sarah, but okay, fine.
I imagine there was an exchange behind the scenes we didn't know about.
Yeah, we had to actually go fish up the Sword of Light. There was a whole ceremony. Sarah's enemy of fun powers were transferred to me. Sarah had to go off, and then years later we found out Sarah didn't go to a peace conference and went to become the Omega Renegade Ranger. Yeah, that was
all right,
a long deep cut. I'm sorry.
All right, let's put them up there. I've told the fans to go ahead and post their guesses in the comments. We're not going to confirm whether or not they guessed correctly, but I'm curious to see what people guess. So.
You just want to make them twist.
All right,
so let's see. Well, what's the first one we've got on the list of things we haven't shown yet? Okay, hey, look, here's a combat card. Just the text of a combat card. Huh, that's strange. No ability name, no energy cost, no ranger it's associated with. But it looks to be a 2-die attack. If the previous combat card played in this battle was a reaction, gain 1 energy. Or add 1 die to this attack. So if it was if you play a reaction before playing this card, you can choose to either gain an energy or make it a 3-die attack. Which is a very nice piece of versatility. Who knows what sort of ranger this would be for? It's a real big question. Notably, the color is pretty telling. I will say this is not a bonus card for Bulk, our Mighty Morphin Purple Ranger from the Bulk and Skull pack. So that is the only hint you guys are getting. But yeah, there's been a few Rangers who are this color.
Nice. Okay.
And I will say that this particular card, we brought on a new artist. We did an excellent job.
Oh man, I love the art for this
job.
set.
Serge Acuna.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Not that we're showing off the art specifically, because that would give away the game.
Nope.
But soon. In April, we'll be able to show you the art.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So I think the next card, we've got another card like this, I believe, even from the same kit. If the previous combat card played in this battle was a maneuver, you may divide the damage from this attack among any number of targets. So this is another sort of what did you do before results in what you do now, which gives you kind of some nice, does some nice chaining, which players love to do. We have a certain subset of the playtesters who are exactly, those players in Dominion, the deck building game, where all they like doing is action chaining. Like they'll spend their whole game building a deck so they could play like a village, into a market, into another village, and at the end do like 4 damage, but they got to play like 18 cards. Those players, we have several of those in our playtested group, and this is one of their favorite Rangers.
Nice. That might have also been a deep cut. Dominion's not exactly a game that we all play, but
I suppose.
Okay. I'll allow it. It's fine. All right. What's next? I see lots of guesses in the chat.
Yeah.
Somebody's asking if they can get a banana pizza card. What is that reference from, Jonathan? A banana pizza card.
So pizza is actually not just for Ninja Turtles. It is actually very popular in the Power Rangers setting. There are several seasons where pizza features prominently. or like a pizza
Yeah,
place is sort of the main place the Rangers hang out. So I think
Sure,
they're
but-
making a reference to that. One of those seasons does include a Purple Ranger.
Okay. But wait,
Man.
where does the
They should have done a
banana...
pizza themed pack. Oh,
Yeah,
he
where
puts
does the
weird stuff on
banana
his
fit in?
pizzas.
Oh,
He puts
okay.
weird stuff on his pizzas. That's like a thing that this particular character does. So, yeah.
Nice. Oh, so somebody's asking, can we tell them if the Mysterious Rangers will at least be an Allies pack too?
I think we could say that, yes. These 2 cards are in Allies pack too.
Yeah, I think that's fine. Yeah, so they're allies. That's another clue.
Yes. Yeah, this isn't an enemy card we're showing off.
No.
That, man.
All right. Okay,
Do we
what
have
else?
anything else to throw up, or are we... I'm a little nervous if we pulled out the right... Oh, sorry, that poor choice of words there. Do you have anything else to have on the board?
Yeah. So I think we were also going to allude to the fact that there is a certain Ranger that people have been asking for quite a while. And did we have something that we were going to be able to show for that?
I don't know. I mean, the funny thing about whenever we say that, like, everyone asks for every Ranger constantly. Like, so
well, that's true. That's true.
From our end, like, we get so many comments. I think, like, even before this started, everyone was sort of like, "Oh, I'm really hoping for this team. I'm really hoping for that team." And just wait. We're gonna try and get to. Ideally, I want to get a rep from every season in as soon as possible. Like, that is kind of I don't know if we'll get every single character in every single season, but at least I'm hoping that, like, people get some amount of representation. But yeah, so let's see. Is there anything left to show?
Do you have anything left back there, Chris?
I have one thing, and again, I'm not allowed to name it, but I'll pop it up.
Let's see what it looks like. We'll see how big a spoiler it is. Ooh. That? So yeah, this was a really interesting power weapon that like, our sculptor had a very difficult time figuring out how to make this work in its figure, but I think it is quite possibly the coolest sculpt we have ever done. And yeah, wow, so I think it's like it is like quite possibly my favorite sculpt Nick has done. Nick Norman killed it with this one.
That's saying a lot. The best sculpt that we've ever done, because we've done some pretty crazy sculpts. I mean, I think
that's true.
Yeah. We pushed the mold makers to the limit. Okay.
Yeah, I'll say my favorite. This one was, I will say, I remember when we got the notes from the factory, they were like, "Are you sure?" We were like,
nice.
Yes, no. And I think the factory definitely did a good job helping us, like, work out how to make this possible.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, I see somebody in chat says that they play Sisters of Battle, and if you can make whips look cool, they look amazing in miniatures. I agree. I also like Sisters of Battle in 40K. So get on it, Jeannie and Jonathan. Give us cool looking whips. Yep. All right. So so we kind of alluded to 2 things that are coming out for Heroes of the Grid in April. We have one other thing that we just wanted to let you know about. There is another big box expansion in the works for this year. We're not ready to tell you the name. We got lots of good feedback in our last survey. So we've put that feedback to good use, for the near future and far future. But the next big box expansion will be late summer, early fall. And I think all we want to say about it is that it's going to be very united.
Yeah, it's good. It's fun. It's good. Man, that one was a really fun box to work on, I think. And it's definitely going to be a weird one. Like, there are going to be some of those picks in there are ones that I don't think fans are going to be expecting, in a way that I'm very excited about.
Yeah. You could almost say it's a very unique compilation.
Yeah.
And a great cover.
The cover's amazing.
So cool. Great cover.
We did something a little different with the cover this time that I'm very excited about. Yeah,
you'll notice with that particular one, you notice a little change, but it's exciting.
Yeah. So it'll be really.
Yeah.
It'll definitely catch the eye. Like I think it's. Yeah. Oh man. God.
Yeah. So
So much Ranger content.
you won't have to. There is, and we're digging into it, but you won't have to wait too long. Around April, when we open up pre-orders for kind of the next wave, you'll be able to see what it is. We'll announce all the details, but we've given you a lot of things to chew on now. You can speculate on those cards that we didn't show you exactly who they're attached to, and then we did show you some stuff. So moving on from Heroes of the Grid, we also wanted to give you a little bit of an update on the Power Rangers role-playing game. So first and foremost, yeah, that's right. Even Jonathan's excited.
Sorry, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for the Power Rangers RPG.
So first and foremost, for the Power Rangers RPG, and I will also add for G.I. Joe and Transformers, we're not quite ready to show you everything yet. But you can expect to see a lot more in June for all three of those. And the reason why I'm saying not just Power Rangers, also Transformers and G.I. Joe, is because we're developing all three of those properties in parallel, because we're designing them in such a way that they are compatible. So if you want to have crossover adventures, you're going to be able to have crossover adventures. But I have one spoiler that I can give you for the Power Rangers role-playing game specifically. So Elisa Teague and her team is hard at work. They've been writing their butts off. Lots of art's being commissioned. The books are just coming along wonderfully. But there's one thing that they wanted to share with you. So I asked them, I said, give me something to share. And this is what they provided. So a little insight into the Power Rangers RPG is that you will be able to create, in addition to your own character to play, you'll be able to create your own Zord and customize your Zords. So you'll customize your Zords using Zord creation rules that mix and match strength, powers, and other statistics that we'll go into later. Zords will be based on your character, team, and color. Zord options in character creation will be chosen from a list based on your character's Power Rangers team, the spectrum of color, and your role. So along with some other choices around there. So when you see that there's at least those three core parameters, you kind of get the idea that there's lots of customization, lots of little dials that you can turn to really tweak and create a unique Zord. Yeah, it's really great. So you can choose features. They'll come, some Zords will come with standard traits and abilities. Player selections will grant them enhanced features and more powerful assets. And you can kind of course, it's a role-playing game, so you can add on and level up and develop them as you play. So that's our little tidbit for the role players. I know you've anxiously been waiting. Trust us, we are hard at work on those games. Many, many books are in the works, not even just the first books for Power Rangers and also G.I. Joe and Transformers. So stay tuned in June. I think we have another Renegade Con coming up around that time. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's a just avalanche of role-playing news and sampling and all sorts of stuff then. So stay tuned, keep asking questions, sign up for our newsletter if you're into the role-playing game, and we'll be sure to catch you up. So before we kind of close out, before we move on, Jeannie, is there anything from the art side that you want to share with the fans? Any artists that you want to highlight?
Well, you've heard, lately Valeria Vavocha. But we've also brought in Serge Acuna, and his wife Catherine Lobo. I'm trying to think of who. Of course, Dan. Dan's always part of it.
Yeah, Dan Mora has continued to deliver.
Yeah, always.
God. Oh man, Serge Acuna did a Zord card.
Oh, it's amazing.
Sorry.
I mean,
oh
no,
man.
go ahead.
He's done several Zord cards for us at this point, which no one has seen. But oh god, one of them just like I got upset that I couldn't share it with anyone like immediately. I had to just be like talk to the other Renegade people about like, God, it's such a cool card. And then like couldn't show the playtester, couldn't show anyone. So I'm just God, it's such a cool card. Man,
nice.
One of the best Zords. Serge Acuna got one of my favorite Zords. and made it look cooler than it has ever looked, I think.
Yeah. It's since the beginning. This has always been a blast, right? Working with artists, but as we keep going, we're gonna get more new art and more new art, and it's just so much fun. I love just looking at their talent, and big deal. I used to like doodle, when I was smaller in school, but these artists, it's like they have a cheat code or something. They just bring it to this level where you just, damn, it's just so good. So it's exciting. It's just, I love it. It's one of my most favorite parts about this job is interacting with them and getting them to, bring out this life, all this visual creativity for this game. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's nice too. And as we're starting to work on some of the other brands and seeing even some of the crossover, that we're starting to have some artists that are working on Power Rangers also work on some of the other brands, and vice versa, because it is this universe that all originates from Hasbro. So it's kind of nice to see that kind of flesh itself out, especially in the role-playing game space where we're actually building the games to be compatible, right? So you can take your Power Rangers and have an adventure in the Transformers world and cross over with Transformers and things like that. So it's really been a lot of fun. So let's look at some questions real quick before we wrap it up. I don't have too many in my notes, but I'll also go through chat. So Jonathan, one fan asked, will there be Thunder Zords for all Rangers?
So are we talking about the because we're doing the Forever Rangers has the full set of Thunder Zords. Like you've got, yes, it will also include the Blue Ranger Thunder Zord, even though the Blue Ranger's slot in the pack is taken up by Alpha. So like Billy will get his Thunder Zord, as part of the full Zord set. And we've got some. Oh man, there's some cool. I believe it's not just the Thunder Zords in the pack. We're also including. Actually, I'm not sure this is something that people know about, but one of the cards in the pack is a neutral Zord card, which can be used by any Mighty Morphin Ranger in lieu of their regular Zord. If you want to mix it up a little, there's actually kind of a new style of Zord that we are introducing in that pack, which is a Zord that any Mighty Morphin Ranger can use instead of their normal one if you want to sort of mix up your team a little bit more. It's sort of a very unusual card in the Zord cards. But It's pretty fun.
Okay. So here's a question for Jeannie.
Okay. They know about the Power Blaster. Yes. Okay. Yeah, it's the Power Blaster.
Oh, yeah.
It's great.
So Jeannie, does the RPG come with their own Dan Mora to draw Zord cards for them?
Oh, that's a funny question. Oh.
I mean, we went to the factory with this a while back to get a quote, and it's just like there's a lot of supply line issues with additional Dan Moras. Like, it's just it's really prohibitively expensive, unfortunately. People can get them bespoke. Like a lot of people have tried 3D printing them at home.
Right.
Yeah,
we checked into cloning. Yeah, we checked into cloning. Putting a Dan Mora in every box just wasn't cost effective. It also takes a really long time for them to grow.
Yeah, and they don't and they don't ship well. I mean, all that time in the shipping container really isn't good for them.
Oh.
No,
that was a rough day at the docks.
That was a rough day at the docks.
All right.
Nice. All right.
Anyway,
so there's lots of good guesses kind of going through chat for sure. I see lots of good guesses. I see some correct guesses. I'm not going to confirm which are correct and which are incorrect, but good on you guys. You've been paying attention. Think that
I saw some very good wrong ones that I'm like, oh wow,
some very good wrong. Yeah. That's even the wrong guesses are good because Jonathan will take some notes.
Wow, that would have fit really well, huh? Maybe I should.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
Nice. So I'll give a quick little peruse through, but I don't see any other pressing questions. Lots of good information today. be sure to join us in our Power Rangers Facebook group. If you're not in there already, sign up for our newsletter. You can also join us in Discord. We're everywhere. If social media is not your thing, sorry, that's where we live. We live in the social media digital world. So come join us. Lots of good Power Ranger goodness. If not, sign up for our email. Email's good. Everybody has email now, right? But thank you all for coming. We hope you're excited. We're excited. The next wave is on the way, almost here. You should have it around April, and then shortly after that, we'll be spilling the beans on all the new stuff. Jonathan's getting sick. Don't get sick, Jonathan. We have lots of work still to do.
Everything's fine. Fine.
So thank you all for coming. Thank you for joining us. And please join us tomorrow. I think Jonathan and I are going to be designing for fun.
We're doing something a little silly, yeah.
Yeah, it's a little silly. We're going to be designing the Renegade Rangers. So we have picked some Renegade employees. We have poses of them in Ranger-y type poses. And we're going to be making them and turning them into Rangers. It's kind of like a what if. What if Renegade people became Rangers?
And one of the big elements is that we're playing around with some funny ideas, but it's also going to be a peek into my design process, like what goes through my head as I build a Ranger. And you'll also get a sense as to what goes into a Ranger kit. Like, I'll sort of talk about what formulas go into how I design these kits, which might help you like kind of cook up your own ideas if you think, if you want to make your own. But yeah, it's definitely going to be a fun channel.
Yeah, so in chat, that is correct. That is tomorrow at 12:30 to 2 p.m. Pacific time. So if you're East Coast, that's 3:30 in the afternoon, but West Coasters, 12:30 in the afternoon. Some insight into Jonathan's design process. I don't know. That's either going to be extremely fun and interesting or terrifying. We'll see. Stay tuned.
Yes. Ooh.
Yes. But there you go. All right. So tune in tomorrow. We'll see you then. Enjoy the rest of Renegade Con and just wait.
Yeah. Just wait.
Thank you, guys.